All right. Good morning. Welcome to our Hsing Chuan program for this Wednesday. This will be our last class until January. I think we're back around, don't have all the dates in my head. Going to be around the 6th or 7th. I think will be the first Wednesday back in January. So we're going to take the Christmas break off and come on back and keep working on our returning fist, adding more and more details when we come back to it. Okay, let's get our feet in the ground and just get warmed up a little bit, looking up and down. And now, from side to side. And ear to one shoulder and hang. And to the other. Again to the first side. And the second. Then let the head roll. Do some gentle half circles. And into the shoulders. We can roll them back. And we can roll them forward. Arms can circle back one way. And arms can circle around the other. And then we can reach up and droop and hang to one side. And reaching up, hanging to the other. Let's let those arms go loose and wrap around the body a little. A bit of shoulder stretch, so we'll pull an arm across. Good, same on the other side. And over the head. And same on the other side. And then behind the back and pull. And same on the other arm. Okay, shake out those arms, warm up the hips. A couple circles one way. And around the other. One more time, the first way. And the second. Okay, knees from the inside to the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the outside to the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Up to your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then up to the chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Shake it out a little. Feet together. We'll roll those knees one way and the other. One more time. First way and the second. And we'll stretch down, hang down towards the floor. And then roll to come back up. Okay, let's start out this morning with a little bit of Chuan work like we have been doing. Chuan's nice. We get that repetition where we can really kind of dial in and refine a lot of these chains of command from center to extremity. So let's start out with 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And the one we've been using to help with our wood fist. So we're pressing down the center. We're rolling to the outside. We're pressing down the center. So we've got this roll back, push from the front, roll forward, push from the back, we've got this outwards arcing in the arm. So the last bit of push is actually as we turn over the arm. This is not the end of the push. We're still filling that up as we roll back the other way. Let's shift that up. Let's put the other foot forward and keep that rolling along. So pushing from the back arm, we're in the front leg. We push out of the front leg and the front arm goes forward. So we're rolling that weight from leg to leg. Balls of the feet are active in the ground. We can pivot a little bit by picking up those heels as we fold into the quad and push back out. We want to open and close the hips. We want to produce thrust against the ground, and then we want that waist to help us direct through the shoulder blade, shoulder out through the elbow and hands. A couple more. Good. Okay. Let's go to the one that we've been using for our bear eagle uppercut as part of our work with that. So here's where we were talking about that sort of U pattern. We were coming up and down, so we're dipping in, and then we're popping up. So we've got the wedge position like we see in our fire fist here, and we've got an uppercut. So we're wedging and rolling back, wedging and coming forward. It's a great time working on these to really focus on those nice, clean biomechanical chains from center to extremity, getting that feeling of thrust from the ground being delivered into the hands. Let's switch it up. We'll put the other foot forward. We'll come up from underneath, up from underneath. Dip, push, dip, push. Last couple. And then we can come on up from there. Let's work on one that connects a little bit to both dragon and metal. So we're going to go with one foot forward. Now we're going to kind of be cycling here. One of the things I want you to think about, it's so easy for us to get caught up in focusing on what the hands are doing, that we don't think about the framework that's behind the hands. So we really want to think about this elbow and forearm area being nice and full with this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit back, press out the palm on the front arm, settle, rise, push out with the back arm. So we're cycling. Front arm, back arm, front arm, back arm. Last couple. And let's switch it up to the other side. So pushing out of the back arm, our weight is biased in the front leg. We dig in that front leg, we push out of the front leg so the front arm presses out, front arm, back arm. Last two. Good. Okay. Get a little bit of that motion in the body, some work in the legs to get us warmed up. And let's switch over now to working on some bits and pieces that connect directly to our set. So let's work a little bit on triangle stepping, moving out or moving back in diagonals. So we're going to do an exercise here just for a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift one heel, and then we're going to shift and we're going to lift the other. What we want to do is we want to think about being able to bias our weight in one leg to create thrust or in the other leg to create thrust. So we change, this leg is free, we change, this leg is free. So just for a second, one, you kind of tap that toe out to the diagonal, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's do the backwards version. So we sit back, we touch back on the corner. 1, 2. Notice that I'm not leaning the head to do this. I'm staying nice and settled over that leg. 3, 4, 5. Good. And come on up. Let's do a little bit more sort of balance and core strengthening work. So we're going to shift that way into one leg, and we're going to go out, in, out, change. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. We want to get to a place where it's kind of unconscious to step in diagonal patterns. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And you want to keep that weight nice and central over that weight-bearing leg. There's that mud tile that's so much a part of the foundation of Hsing, where we can really sit in that leg and we can move and find those diagonals. Front, back, front, and back. Okay, let's keep working on that because this is going to help us with our zigzag patterns that are woven into the set itself. And now let's start to step to those patterns. So we're going to change the weight. We're going to step up. We're going to come back, exchange, step up. Come back, exchange, step on the diagonal, back, and out. 3, other side, 4, and we want to get that feeling of thrust. As soon as we squat into the ground, engage the glutes, push, catch, change, push, mud tile, change the mud tile. We want to get really comfortable finding balance over one foot or the other. This is our narrowest base of support, so it takes the most accuracy with the alignments of our body to find that. Let's take that to the back corner now. So we're shifting back, stepping. A lot of time when people shift back, there's a tendency to want to tilt the torso to facilitate moving the foot, but we want to think of it as a thrust, like you're going to bump into something with your upper back and lower back, in and back. Bump, come forward, bump, push forward. So one of the ways that Sifu Walters always talks about helping to kind of get the mind, the yi, working with the intent is to think about the air having resistance. So it's difficult. It's almost like the air is viscous, and we got to push against it to get into position. We got to push against the air. Okay, so let's start thinking about a diamond pattern here. So we're going to go out, forward, back, in. We're start back a bit here, further here. So I go diagonal. There's my zig, zag, right? But now I'm going to change and come back on the other side. In the set, we just go out and back on one side. 1, 2, but now we're going back. 3, 4. Diamond shape. 1, 2, exchange. 3, 4, exchange. 1, 2, exchange. 3, 4. Let's go the other direction on that diamond. 1, 2, back. 3, 4. 1, 2, change. 3 and 4, chain. 2, 3, 4, one more circuit. 1, 2, change, 3, 4. Wherever you land, wherever that mud tile happens, we want to have potential not in a single direction, but in multiple directions. So when we're walking with our different fists, and every time we step with our fists, we're creating that sort of step out, step in. When I land, I might have to choose to step differently. I don't want to land in a way that my mass is continually, I'm kind of catching my feet up with my mass. I want this mass of the trunk to always be aligned over the feet. So the pattern in the set is where we go out, in, out, back. So we go forward, out, and on. We go back. Forward, 1, 2, back, 1, 2. Let's try that on the other side. Forward, 1, 2. When you put this foot down, could you choose to go back forward again, or are you already committed to going backwards? We don't want to commit ourselves to anything other than potential in the weight of the leg rather than directional. Potential. What potential do I have? What potential do I have when I land in that leg? So let's dial into that section a little bit. So we've got a few different bits of arm work that come into the sort of zigzag pattern. We have the phoenix arms. So let's try that a little bit, but let's try going forward and backwards with it. You know, the sets can't give you all the variations or they get huge. It's up to you to kind of play with those different ideas. So now we're working that phoenix. We're pushing, we're tearing, we're pushing, we're tearing, we're coming back, we're driving, we're coming back, we're driving. So we see these shifts. Remember we talked about how this can be passing arms, deflecting, tearing, pressing the face, shifting off angle. Yeah, so we're shifting and we're tearing. We're pushing and we're tearing. We're pushing and we're tearing. 1, 2, 3, and 4. What's another piece that we work on in there? We get our pound the mortar. So we're going gather, pulling that in. We've got that pull, and we shift and we explode out. Good, we'll come back. We'll pound, we'll shift, we'll push out. We'll shuffle our way back. We'll gather, pull that. We'll land and punch. So now let's start thinking about that a little bit like a skipping stone. So here, you've mud tiled into your right leg and you've condensed. We talked about that small circular kind of feeling inside the body as we pull in that mortar area and we pull that in. And now what I want to think about is like 1, 2, land, drive out, come back, set it up again, draw, pull, explode. This is a cannon. It's like boom, fire energy. It's opening. It's going from condensed to explosion. Drive it into place. 1, 2. Yeah, a couple more. Gather, pull, drive. Yeah, gather, drive. Get those muscles able to explode. Gather. 1 more. Drive. Good. Last piece of that arm work is being able to get our earth fist, crossing fist work inside there. We talked about that swinging, rising uppercut from the inside. We talked about a crossing shovel, kind of hit across there. We've talked about throwing, and we've talked about hammering and covering the center. So we could think about cover, cover. So if we didn't even think about striking, but we thought about going cover on one side, cover on the other. There's our zigzag pattern moving backwards. It's like something comes at me. I've moved it off to the side. I've shifted off angle. Now, I come off on that other side. 1, 2. We want to liven it up. We've got 1, 2. There's our hammers. Now we could be going evade, shovel in, evade, strike in. We could go to that full uppercut, shift, uppercut, shift, uppercut, cover, uppercut again. Look at that kind of motion we've got. It's like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Nice. We want that all to kind of link together a bit. Okay, time is zipping on by. We're going to do a few passes of the set, but I want to focus one more time on taking care of your knees and your legs when you're working in the hook stance. Most of us don't have a lot of time that we spend in these sort of extreme turned out positions. And so we want to make sure that we're not turning out from the ankle and the knee. We want to really make sure we're turning from the hip. And then when we put weight into that leg, we want to make sure that we're not pushing the knee forward of the foot, but that we're actually kind of pulling the hip back. So it's almost like it's bracing to the core this way, rather than leaning forward on it. I want it to be more triangular here, where I'm settled down in that middle position. So we're working from having the foot already in the lateral and trying to touch the toe and draw that hip in a bit. No, it's not easy, but we don't want to stress out the knee either. We want to feel like we're sitting inside that and down nice and upright with the body. So let's try just a few. 1, squat in a bit, come back, 2, squat in a bit, come around, 1 and 2, good, 1 and 2. Let's do one more each side for today, but I suggest doing these as a regular exercise, as long as it's not making the knees hurt when you're doing it. So think about how you're loading the structure. If the weight can't go down through the column to find the ground, if it's having to have odd paths down there, sometimes it can work those knees over. Okay, what else have we been doing? We were focusing on the turnaround and getting that feeling of turning with the dragon. So let's go to a position here where we've done our final movements of the pass. That was that step up wood fist to thrusting wood fist. We were then doing our inside turn, which means we're gonna pivot inwards to this kind of pigeon-toed position. So as I brush the leg, I'm turning in. We talked about this could be like a little chip kind of feeling. I chip in. The weight starts to transfer into my left leg, and then I'm going to spiral the right arm, and I'm going to spiral the right leg together. So I'm going to bring those around, kind of drawing them in. Now I've got that strike down. Now here's where I want to take care of those knees. I need to pivot on the heel and on the ball of the foot to get that nice turned out position of my front foot. I don't want to try and turn it just in the joints. I want to take the pelvis to help that through, and then we're pounding down with the palm. So we've gone boom, boom, roll back, tuck in, brush, weight exchanges into the left. As we push down into that left leg, we spiral through. So now we've got left hand in at the elbow of right, kind of lined up with one another. And then as we kick through, we rotate the pelvis, which helps to pull the one arm in and drive the other arm out. And this has downwards motion to it. Now to leave this, to set up for the next piece of the set, We've got the weight in the right leg already, so all we're going to have to do is bring that left leg out, and that's where we're going to start our first wood fist, the beginning of the next pass of the set. So let's try that a couple times. So we did our uppercut, boom, dragon going forwards. Now we step out and we go step up wood fist, thrust through wood fist, brush, turn in, condense down, spiral, spiral, step, rotate on the ball of the back foot, release that back heel, don't leave it stuck in the ground, and pound. Now come through and wood fist. Then we get another one of those hook stances, so we have to set up that back foot so we can step back, and then we're going to pivot on that foot when we come forward again. Okay, we've only got a couple minutes. Let's use them up by doing a few passes of the set before we finish for 2025. So my line for the set is the same as the boards on the floor, but I'm starting 45 degrees to those. I'm going to go lift, brush, condense. There's all that qigong we were talking about, driving down into the core. We're going to spiral the right arm. We're going to spiral that left arm in, and we come out with metal to start. We go wood fist, 1. Draw back. So we're going to change that back foot. You got to change that foot so it's got good alignment. 2. And then as we come forward, we got to change that foot again to come back to our samtoy. Here's where we get into our phoenix work. So we cross, we step 1, draw in, step 2, pound the mortar. Here's that circulation we were working on at the beginning of class. Draw, there's that diagonal step forward and the explosion out. Now, here's our going back on that zigzag. Earth fist 1. Earth fist as we step back with the right leg. 1, we stay there and we work the core. Now, bear eagle uppercut. Boom. Slip through, stomp kick, and dragon. Step and pound forward, drive out. Now, long set. So that gives us lots of opportunity to get really refined. We brush, turn in, lift up, press down, spiral. It's like you're drawing everything in. Draw it in, spit it out with the dragon. Wood fist. Slide back, earth. Wood fist. Phoenix 1, back on that diagonal. Phoenix 2, back on the diagonal, pound the mortar. Up on the diagonal, draw in, condense, and explode. Cover the front, slip off angle, uppercut. Cover, slip off angle, uppercut, uppercut. Step in, uppercut. Condense in, bring that in, kick and pound down. Step and shuffle up, punch out. Turn, down, draw that through, stomp and palm. Wood, earth, wood. Phoenix 1, Phoenix to pound the mortar. Fire. Earth 1, earth 2 and 3. Bear eagle uppercut. Step through with the dragon. Wood fist, pound up, drive out. Brush, turn, settle. Draw, kick, drive down. 1, 2, 3. Gather. 1, 2, draw, pound, earth. 1, 2, and 3. Uppercut, kick, palm, going to have to leave it there for today. We'll start to work on pace. We'll start to work on timing. We'll start to work on explosiveness when we come back to this in the new year. Thanks for coming along for the ride with this one throughout our section in 2025, and we'll see you in 2026. Thanks for training today.